about, again, taking that data and doing something with it. Now, if you think about having the data and being able to relate it down to operations, right? It's not giving them numbers. It's not giving them percentages. It's giving them actionable things that they can drive through the interaction with the customer. So on top of the data that we have and the machine learning and AI models that are created by Bostic, they also give a UI that's utilized for the business. And this UI takes certain attributes and data points and relative information, simplifies that to the common language of your employees, and then puts forth what they need to do on that call. So I've always considered this as, who is the customer? What do I need to do with them, right? And this is what this UI tells you. This is an example here of a customer having an advanced system, but they're not using it. So we've taken the data and put it into what we've deemed as health indicators. What's most important on every single customer that an employee needs to know when they're speaking with them. On the bottom right-hand corner, you could see I've got an advanced system customer. They're paying a little bit below the average of where they should be, but they're coming to the end of their contract. End of the contract customers really drive shopping around, thinking twice if they want to still be with you, evaluating their system, their product, the value of it. Low usage is another one. If you don't use a product, you lose it, right? Why am I paying for something monthly that I'm not using? So that's a very high indicator of potential churn or dissatisfaction. Low trouble, right? We want to pay for something that's working. And then, of course, where we had a lot of activity that was happening in the security industry of taking customers from an old 3G network and putting them up to 4G. So that alone just gives a quick, not only by color, but indicator that an employee can quickly pick up on as they're starting that phone call with the customer. It then goes into what are important things to talk about. So the left-hand side goes into customer since 2015, always thanking them for being a valued customer with your organization. Figuring out, when did they last call me, right? If someone called one day ago, well, this is their second call they're now having with you. It's the fourth one. Okay, you may have, potential irate customer that you've got to figure out how to solve their problem. Or if it's zero, right, this is your first engagement. Make it your best. Make sure that you deliver what's needed for that customer. The home image is neat, especially in the security industry, because through some of your interactions, you may want to sell certain products. And certain products don't work in certain homes. They don't work, at certain levels of your home. So being able to have a visual aid of that customer's home as you're talking to them really gives you information that you need to drive the best conversation with the outcome. And then the best part of this is you take away the thinking of the agent, of the employee. So what we used to do before Bostic UI is we had a parameter that was set, but we would make up whatever offer worked the best on the conversations that we had. Of course, it was always about lowering their rate. If you're going to tell somebody you can lower their rate by $5, why wouldn't they say yes to that? But it wasn't the best economic play, because sometimes the cost of the monthly rate has nothing to do with the potential of them churning in the future. And so having that tailored offer, going back to the data, putting it into something that becomes actionable, and then simplifying that for the agent and having the recommended offers that fit within your economic parameters, again, drives additional value, simplification, something that could be repetitive and usable in the future for other channels. So this is just an example of the low battery usage. We've got a couple other examples that you can see. Again, the visual is very simple. This is all customized.